This is the new #1 Minecraft multiplayer game mode of 2025. Mark my words. I am here announcing the brand new release of the Factories game mode on Hxroic.EnchantedMC.net. This is long awaited. It has been in the works for months, and it is finally time for release September 6th at 3 p.m. EST. I am actually beyond excited. This is so far like into the future. It's hard to believe this is even still Minecraft, bro, that we're playing. But if you guys want to go ahead and check out the brand new game mode, I'm actually giving away a top rank for this realm. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel and comment your IGN down below, and you're gonna be set up immediately on start of the world. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of a tutorial. So obviously we're playing factories. If we do /factory space go, this is what we're rocking with. Okay, so you have workers. Now you can actually go ahead and pick them up, and if you use the armor stand, you go ahead and throw it down. You can have up to 8 workers, and then you actually go ahead and buy a couple more as well. I think in total you can have like 11 or 12. Let's go ahead and throw him down. You can actually throw down the workers all the way around this block, like the entire factory. But if we right click on him, our very first worker, he's got traits, which kind of works like all of the other realms. There's like universal, there's master, all of these different buffs that directly apply to this certain worker. And as I mentioned, you can have up to like 11 or 12 workers, and each one has their own traits, and each one also has their own stats that actually increases the damage, the speed, and the range. And as you guys can see, he's doing damage to the dirt. He's mining the dirt. Obviously, he's not high enough level. He's only level 1 out of 5. He doesn't have any stats. He doesn't have any traits. So he's not breaking the dirt block. But if we actually go ahead and left click and punch him, you guys can see his radius, like see the area that he can actually reach to. And what actually happens if you have enough placed down, at some point they will go ahead and start breaking the dirt blocks. And when a block is actually broken, that is where you start to get some money, and you can actually upgrade your factories. If you do /factories, there is the junkyard industry. There's 4 pages in total, and look how sick they actually get: the modern, city, advanced, future, cyber, quantum, and finally the final page, the alien, orbital, and space factories, which this is actually the very first factory. So this is the ruined factory. Not to mention, every single factory actually has their own keys. If we do /keys, all 12 factories have their own keys. So as you progress, the keys obviously get a lot better just from breaking blocks. But if we actually go ahead and check out the keys, you get like energy pouches, elixir pouches, shards pouches, there is crystal boxes, there's obviously still totems, there's pet boxes, there's pets on here. And I can actually go ahead and show you guys a couple of the other factories as well. I can show you the junkyard, which is actually such a sick build as well. It's like a massive crane here. There is a bunch of crates, and it'll work literally the exact same way. The blocks will come on through, you'll place your workers along the edges and try to make as much money as possible. I can also go ahead and show you guys the industrial build, which is pretty sick as well. And now with factories as well, actually, if you go ahead and right click on it, each factory has 10 different blocks. And as I mentioned, the block number 1 is dirt. If we go back to our factory, the ruined factory, but as we break dirt blocks, go ahead and start to make some more money, we actually go ahead and continue to max out our blocks. So for example, once we get to the second tier, each block will have a 50% chance to spawn. When you get to the next tier, each block will have a 33%. The next tier, each block will have 25%, 20%, and so on and so on, until block number 10. Each block has 10% of chance to spawn. And after you've gone through all 10 blocks, you obviously are capped out. You make your way to the junkyard factory, and that is pretty much how you progress as a solo. And there still is like milestones and stuff like that. You can go ahead and get a bunch of really good rewards. You can get some free credits, you get free loot boxes, which let me go ahead and see if I can actually throw a couple more workers down and start to make a little bit of money just to show you guys. I can see the dirt is starting to get lower and lower. Okay, so all 8 of our workers are down. We can actually go ahead and buy a couple more in the credit shop. So we buy 3 more, and then I think Enchanted Plus actually gets another one as well. And actually, as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and like roll some stats and traits just to show you guys. See if we can get some traits that like do more damage, like damage and attack speed, or money and enchants. Oh, I didn't even show the enchants as well. If we right click the nether star, there's energy enchants and there's elixir enchants, which are your 2 currencies on here. Obviously there's money, energy, elixir, and shards. But if we go ahead and go through some of these, like critical enchant, there's key finder, Thor, tower, freeze. A lot of these enchants actually are like damage buffs as well as worker buffs, and then also money and enchant buffs, which is really good in general. Some of these are actually repeat enchants as well from like dungeons and other realms. And then looking at the elixir enchants, this is where you get enhancer, so you extra smash level experience. There's second hand, rewind, you literally change the block direction in the opposite way for 5 seconds, so each worker can get a couple of extra hits in. Let me actually go ahead and roll some of these traits, see if I can get, oh my god, we just rolled fortune 5 off the bat. So money and enchant, I'm not gonna lie, if I was actually playing, I would literally keep that. What are the other ones? There's a couple new ones. There's strength that is more damage, there's lightning for speed, the reach enchant actually increases your range, magnet would definitely be so good at range and 50% enchant, mermaid as well, range and money. And there's a void, which is speed, range, and money. Power, damage, speed, and range. The godly perk, damage, money, and enchant. Master, damage, speed, range, and enchant. 0.25% chance, and obviously universal 0.1% chance. If you get that on your workers, you're actually set. Okay, then we can also go ahead and roll these stats. Let's try to roll these really quickly. We rolled an A, so we have a 10% damage buff, A+ for damage speed, and A+ for damage range as well, which it actually does go ahead and show you guys like these stats down below at the bottom, which is sick. And you can actually go ahead and upgrade your workers with money. So if I go ahead and upgrade this one right here, I had a little bit of money from breaking their blocks, and I upgrade him. He's now level 2 out of 5, and that actually increased his damage, attack time, and range. Not to mention, you can also go ahead and mess with the settings. So if you wanted to hit like the first block, the last block, the closest, as you progress through factories, I'm assuming that's definitely going to come a lot more into play, and like strategy is going to come into play then. But the first couple of factories, you should probably be able to just like blow right through. And like, can we go ahead? We can actually go ahead and get the second block. It'll be a 50-50 chance for dirt in the second block to go ahead and spawn. And there we go. Moss just spawned. It's got 28 HP. It's kind of a little bit like a combination of balloons, tower defense, and then also dungeons of constantly progressing through different factories, which is actually so sick. And I'm not gonna lie, I have barely even touched this tutorial. There is still so much more detail to go into. If we go ahead and check out headquarters, this is where the team play comes in. Obviously, this is like your solo factories that you go ahead and progress. You make money on your own. But if you want to compete for HQ top, there is also headquarter factories. And I believe in total at your headquarter factory, you can have up to 10 workers that your entire team can actually go ahead and work to upgrade. And it's going to work pretty much the exact same thing here. If we go ahead and check out HQ top, so currently my corporation stats, so stocks, I'm pretty sure is like money, which would come from breaking blocks here at our HQ. You can only actually get HQ top points from breaking blocks at your HQ. You don't actually get stocks for your solo factory, only at your headquarter factory, at your team factory. And if we go ahead and check it out, you can actually get headquarter enchants. So there's crit, growth, frenzy, corporate greed, a bunch of different HQ worker enchants. Instead of upgrading them one by one, there's actually HQ enchants that your entire team goes ahead and works on. And now you guys are probably wondering, look at like the price, like 15 a Nautilus shell, 15 a glowing sack. I'll get to that here in a second, but if we check out our team bank, this is actually where they're all stored from, and they are stored from slash jobs. Slash jobs are actually so sick as well. So there's janitor simulation, so you clear out rubbish. So you pretty much just like mine dirt, leaves, cobblestone, stuff like that on the roads. Pest control, you kill pests such as silverfish, spiders, and endermites inside of houses. Farmer, you go ahead and go to the farming streets. Electrician, you place missing blocks. Lumberjack, you break logs. And then fisher simulation, you go ahead and fish in the neighborhood. I actually go ahead and TP on over. Like, let me TP and do the farmer simulation. If you stay on the road, actually, you get speed 5. But if we look at the scoreboard right now, statistics. So right now, I've currently been in this job for 10 seconds, basically. And the average time, you want to go ahead and actually beat the average time. You get rewards, but the average time to complete the farming job right now is set at 4 minutes. What we're going to do is follow the hologram as far as possible. The carrot farm 200 meters away. As you can see, there's also wheat here as well. We're going to have to mine 1,000 wheat, 1,000 carrots. So let me actually go ahead and attempt to do this really quickly. I've got my netherite hoe. And then from completing these jobs, you'll go ahead and get these resources that actually go to your HQ. And that is how you upgrade your HQ workers. So it's very important for your entire team to be doing jobs. I will go ahead and show you guys after I finish this farming simulation really quickly. There's also an option to do like a randomized order of just doing random jobs. You get put into the very next job. You don't have a choice, but you actually get a buff. So you get like 1.25 extra resources if you complete it. Okay, you've completed the wheat farm area in 1 minute 34 seconds. Let me go ahead and run my butt over to the carrot farm. We are still on pace. I need to go ahead and get over there like really fast though. Okay, we should be good. All I have to do is mine 1,000 more carrots now. And now I'm not entirely sure if you don't beat the average time, if you don't get any resources at all, or if it's just like a minimal amount. You are kind of on a time crunch here. You want to go ahead and do it as fast as possible. Like I said, if you're on the roads, you do get speed 5, and make sure you stay on the roads until you get to like the hologram or whatever job you're doing. You don't want to waste time running there. That is for sure. We're about to beat this one with like 1 minute or so to spare. And there we go. We have finished our first job. So we got 10,000 energy, 1,000 elixir, and 1.6 wheat. And if we actually go ahead and go back over to our HQ and check out the team bank, we now have 1.6x wheat. And you guys saw the headquarter enchants 5 wheat for crits, and every single one is from a different job pretty much. So it takes a lot of grinding as a team. And then also block upgrades. You go ahead and upgrade the block. Obviously, you get more money, you get more points towards HQ top by having better blocks. But look how expensive the last one is, bro. Literally 100 of almost every single recipe, which is actually insane. Not to mention, you can also go ahead and upgrade that block, which is going to take more of your resources. So it is going to be a massive grind for your entire team. It's going to be such a priority. Nobody can freeload, bro. Everybody's going to have to pull their own weight. And there is also team upgrades as well. So if we check it out, like there's double resources, chance to get double resources, increase how fast blocks spawn, increase your money multiplier, increase elixir booster, increase energy booster, damage booster, and then a chance to get more stocks as your team's HQ workers smash blocks, which obviously stocks are used to calculate HQ top. Now, bro, as I'm getting into it, as I'm learning, I'm actually so pumped. This is going to be such a fun game mode. Yeah, as I was talking about in the jobs, so random job simulation, clicking this will take you into a random job, giving you a multiplier for loot, so 1.25x for currency and resources. So that way you can't literally just sit there and do the farmer simulation over and over and over and find a meta. You have to do random all the other jobs, 6 jobs in total. But then from our job, we actually got 10,000 energy. So then actually in our energy enchants, we can upgrade all of our workers. So for example, I can have 10 workers placed down, and if I upgrade these enchants, it'll upgrade all 10 of them. You don't have to upgrade one by one. That would actually be such a pain in the butt. Your enchants are global. So I can go ahead and put 9.8 thousand energy into our critical enchant, get 8 levels. Chance to deal 2x damage to a block upon a smash. And then elixir enchants, we can go ahead and upgrade and get 3 levels of enhancer. And now there's also something to do with swing levels. I'm not entirely sure what swing levels do. I did not go over that, but I am seeing that is what enhancer is actually for. So that is honestly something I'm gonna have to figure out on Start of the World as well. And from what I was actually told as well, as long as your account is online, it doesn't matter where at online actually, your factory will be working. But if you log your account offline, your factory is not gonna spawn like any blocks at all. So it's gonna be super important to leave your account online overnight and essentially do like a bunch of AFK grinding without even having to do a thing. You'll wake up in the morning, a ton of money in your balance, a ton of upgrades to be made. As long as you go to bed at the point of where all of the blocks are actually getting broken and the factory is at full efficiency, then you should be good. You should be in the clear. But I can actually go ahead and use a little bit of money, buy block number 3, which it'll probably have a little bit of more durability as well. Can I upgrade this worker? I sure can. I could probably upgrade almost all of my workers to level 2. Only $250, another $250. I should probably go ahead and get all like the traits and stats on them as well. The traits and stats this season are going to be super hard to get. Not necessarily super hard to get. They're going to be super easy to get, but you're just going to need a ton of them. Like Mermaid 3, I'll definitely take that. Triple green, taking that 100%. Another triple green. And yeah, this is kind of where like the strategy comes into play. So for example, if you guys know, like all of your blocks keep dying, or not dying, but like getting broken here on the quarter. Okay, this worker should probably have a trait that is for money because you want as much money as possible. But for example, I want this worker to have like the cash trait, and then I want all the workers beforehand to have like attack speed and damage buffs. There's so much strategy that is going to go into it. It's actually gonna be so much fun. And obviously there still is like crystals and stuff like that. You can actually go ahead and throw on all of your workers for whatever enchants you deem to be most important. If you want to make a ton of money, go with money enchants. If you want to do a ton of damage, it all depends what your strategy is and what crystals you actually want to rock. And this is actually something that swing level is for. So for example, the last crystal slot is at swing level 250. You guys can see right now I'm 82% to swing level 4. Looks like the second crystal is actually unlocked at level 25, 25, 75, 150, and then 250. I'm not entirely sure if that's all that swing level is actually for. It's just crystals. Yeah, guys, I think that is go ahead and do it for the promo video. I'm actually so stoked for this new season, this new game mode. I was talking to the owner of the server, Gucci, and I said, this is literally so advanced. It feels like you're playing like Roblox. It doesn't even feel like Minecraft. So I hope to see you guys all online for Start of the World, Hxroic.enchantedmc.net, September 6th at 3 p.m. EST. Make sure to go ahead and enter the rank giveaway down below. And I'm going to be doing plenty of rank giveaways the entire season, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. But I'll go ahead and see you guys all on the brand new season, the brand new game mode on Start of the World. Peace out.